Yesterday I finished the Lyme Laser Protocol, the 9 months. So yesterday was like week 39. So I finished it, I survived it, I lived through it. Oh my word. I'm glad it's over. I wish that my body had reacted better to this treatment. I was concerned because pretty much every other treatment that I've done would be difficult, but Lyme Laser, one of the things that they talk about is how gentle it is and everything, but it wasn't that for me. I am one of those highly sensitive people, and so I wish that I had read this book, Toxic. Wish I had read this book before I did any treatment whatsoever. So no matter what treatment you plan to do for Lyme disease, I highly recommend you read this book. So am I thankful that I did Lyme Laser? Yes, I am, because I believe that it's the only treatment that I've seen that actually busts up biofilms and really addresses why people can't get well from Lyme disease. So I am thankful for that. Dr. Wine with Lyme Laser is like, if you've done this protocol, then you shouldn't be having any issues with Lyme disease. However, being toxic and unable to get rid of it has been my problem. And one of the things is that along my journey of the last 2 decades of trying to try to beat Lyme disease or whatever, mold was always one of those things that people, if you're not getting well, address mold, that kind of thing. It was kind of a side note. And I never really thought that that was me, or that was part of my story and everything. But now that I've been through Lyme Laser, and it was so traumatic because my body literally couldn't get rid of the toxins, and then reading this book, and looking at mold, and then looking at all the symptoms, and I circled almost every mold symptom because they overlap with other things, and then realizing that even though I grew up in a finished, wonderful, fabulous basement in my home, it was still a basement, and there were still water problems, and being the type of person that can't actually expel mold toxins, I just kept getting sicker and sicker and sicker, and then you add Lyme disease on top of that, and you add parasites on top of that, and then you add all the PTSD from things that have happened to me, plus the trauma of going through this illness, and then also realizing that I have a physical trauma, a spinal injury that happened 27, 28 years ago, and that has caused my body stress, and there's just so much that goes into healing that Lyme Laser worked on eradicating the Lyme disease, and addressed parasites a little bit, and also addressed candida a little bit. But the main problem is that not being able to detox properly, I feel like it almost killed me, because the treatment, I essentially can't handle treatments because I don't detox well. So, so would I recommend Lyme Laser? Absolutely. I think it's a wonderful program. It's an amazing protocol. But if you are one of those people that feel that you're highly sensitive, and that no matter what you do, you get worse, please read this book first before you do any treatments, because so that you can understand your body and understand what you're going through, and understand all the different things that you need to do to help yourself. And so now that I'm done with Lyme Laser, I am going to go back to using my amp coil. I tried to respect what they wanted during Lyme Laser, and that was to not use my amp coil. So I used it sparingly, and used it for Herx helps or pain releases and that kind of stuff, and a few rejuvenating journeys along the way. But I tried to be very not use it because they didn't want me to have too much going on in my system to make things harder on me. However, so the only thing I did was stuff that actually just made me feel better. And same thing with like supplements. I had to go back on some of my supplements because I just needed to have some relief and feel better. And it's just been, it was just tough because my body wasn't supported the way it needed to be supported, because I didn't realize, and they didn't realize that I am one of these people. I'm one of the people that that's so incredibly sensitive because I'm so toxic, and the inability to expel mold and everything. So now I am receiving treatment for mold and for spinal injury and PTSD, and trying to get my body to be able to recover and heal and calm down and everything. But it is so difficult because of how sensitive my body is. I tried to start like one of the most gentlest supplements for mold, and I had such a bad reaction. It took me like 3 or 4 days to fully recover from it. I was like, oh my gosh, my whole body went into this like massive anxiety panic attack for like days on end, and I'm going, whoa, this is not okay. So it is. So I still have quite a bit of a road ahead of me for recovery, and just recovering from the damage that was done during Lyme Laser, because I got so terribly sick, so bad that I'm not sure how long it'll take just to recover from going through that, much less the other things that I need to work and address. So that's where I am, just working towards figuring out how to gently treat my body. So I am put myself into like a little healing bubble. I am totally unplugged, so I'm not really responding to messages. I'm not even watching the news. I'm just trying to stay in this tiny little healing bubble so that I can keep my stress level like super low, and I can really just focus on healing. And for those of you that have been following my journey and the fact that I've got a GoFundMe, I am still raising money because of to be able to finish the treatments that I've started that are actually helping. And I'm looking at the fact that since I haven't raised all the money that I needed, that I'm actually probably going to have to take a break from treatments, or pause or do less treatments, because I don't have the funds to keep going, which is kind of frustrating, but also where I'm like, well, I guess I'll just be gentle and slow and quiet and just hang out and just soak in healing. And that's all I know to do right now is so I am started back on, I'm going to start back on using the amp coil and going through each of the very, 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 very highly sensitive protocol for people like me that just need the most gentlest inching towards healing possible. So that's where I am, and I am probably, I don't know when I'll do another update. I am really trying to be unplugged and just keep my stress level low, and talking about where I am and how hard things are is kind of depressing. So I'm really trying to focus on the good things, and so I wrote down a couple good things so that I was looking back at the video I did before I started Lyme Laser. And so one symptom, because I listed out all my symptoms in that video, one of the symptoms that has finally let go is the rib pain. So I'm not having the horrible rib pain where it hurts to breathe, and so I'm really relieved about that. I'm not really experiencing the head fullness anymore, where I just feel like my head is, like everything inside my head is just too full. And I'm also having less overall weakness, so I'm not as kind of like faint feeling anymore, so that's really good. And I'm able to sit up to actually eat now. There for a while, I just had to lay back and lounge. There was no sitting up at all. I didn't have the strength or the energy to sit up, and so now I do. And so I'm waiting for the time for being able to really be able to walk again. I'm only able to really stand up for maybe 10 minutes, and maybe walk around for maximum like 20 minutes, and that's like for the whole day. Like, other than that, I just have to be sitting, chilling, relaxing, that kind of thing. So, but my brain is starting to work a little bit better, and so I'm able to read a little bit now, but everything just went completely sideways and wrong for me this year, and so, I guess I'm just on to the next phase of the journey of healing. With Lyme Laser, I went through phase 1 and phase 2, so I've completed their protocol. Now I can continue going like once a month for the next year for like phase 3, just to keep things under control and everything. And so I'm hoping to be able to do that if I have the funds and everything. But I'll tell you what, facing this whole chronic illness thing where your whole body is shutting down because of so many different reasons, and Lyme disease causes all kinds of horrible problems, and then the possibility of mold and the possibility of other co-infections and parasites, and just trying to just go through all of it is insane and hard. So I am kind of pulling away from social media and just focusing on healing and in my tiny little bubble with my family, and just focusing on trying to make sure that I maybe get to the other side of this. And if I ever do, even if I don't do updates throughout it, my hope is that I can then share what I have done that did work and things that didn't make me sicker, because this has been a rough year. So, but that's all I've got for now, and I'm functioning, I think, at about 25%, and pain level ranges around between 6 and 7, and my fatigue levels are like a 5. My mental health is improving. I am more stable most of the time. I'm still struggling a lot with instability within my mind and emotions, but it's getting better as the toxicity is lowering, as I'm not doing as much killing off like with Lyme Laser and everything. So I'm hoping that my mind and emotions will totally come back to myself soon, and be stable and okay, and but this has been a really, really, really rough year, and so but my journey's not over yet. Even though Lyme Laser protocol is done, I still have a long, possibly long road ahead of me. So I'm not sure when I'll see you again, but I hope that today finds you better than yesterday, and that if you're on your own healing journey, then I wish you well. If you're supporting mine, then thank you so much for cheering me on and praying for me and donating and just being a part of my journey. So I'll see you next time.